Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you're an Amharic speaker just setting out on your English language journey, you are absolutely in the right place to build the ultimate foundation. Today, we're focusing on two massive, incredibly important pillars: mastering the alphabets and achieving true spelling mastery. Seriously, whether you're aiming to ace a job interview, write professional emails, or just communicate clearly in your day-to-day life, it all starts right here with these essential building blocks.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our step-by-step roadmap to get you feeling totally confident. First, the 26 letters. Second, names versus sounds. Third, conquering difficult sounds. Fourth, spelling your identity. And finally, real-world spelling mastery.
Right off the bat, I want to emphasize this critical number, 26. You know, in Amharic, you're used to a really rich, extensive Fidel system with literally hundreds of characters. But in English, there are only 26 basic building blocks. That's it, just 26. These letters are all that stand between you and total English spelling mastery. Once you know them and how they kind of interact with each other, you're going to be able to spell any word in the English language.
So let's start at the very beginning. Section 1, the 26 letters.
Now, here's a concept that might be entirely new if you're coming straight from Amharic. English actually has two different shapes for every single letter. We've got uppercase, which we usually just call capital letters, and lowercase, which are the smaller letters. For example, a capital A kind of looks like a tall triangle wearing a belt, right? But the small a looks more like a little circle with a stem. A capital B has two big bumps, while a small b just has one. I challenge you, as we go through this, to start mentally matching those big shapes with their smaller partners. Moving right along to Section 2, names versus sounds.
Brace yourselves because this next concept is honestly the biggest light bulb moment for learners. See, if you speak a highly phonetic language like Amharic, a letter always makes the exact same sound, no matter what. Well, English is completely different. The core mechanical conflict of English spelling is simply this. A letter has a formal name, like what you call it when you're singing the alphabet, but it can make an entirely different sound when it's actually placed inside a word. It's almost like a person who goes by a formal stiff name at the office, but has a completely different fun nickname at home.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how it works in practice. Let's take the letter B. Its formal name, when we just say the alphabet, is pronounced B. But when we drop it into a word, like book, the sound it makes is just a short, punchy B. You don't look at the word and say book, right? You just say book. Remembering that a letter's formal name is not always its everyday sound is basically the magic key to unlocking English pronunciation. Let's tackle some of these head on. Section 3, conquering difficult sounds. Okay, I want you to literally speak out loud with me right now. Let's build up that muscle memory. Take the letters B and P, for example. These can be really confusing. Try saying them out loud. Bat and pat. Do you feel how pat uses a tiny puff of air from your lips? Now let's try V and F. Van, fan. You want to bite your bottom lip gently for both of those, but make sure to turn your voice on, like a little vibration for the V. And lastly, R and L. Right, light. The R rolls way in the back of your mouth, while the L touches the back of your top teeth. Seriously, practice these pairs because they pop up everywhere. Oh, and we absolutely cannot forget about TH. TH is a special team of letters that work together to make two completely distinct sounds. Try it with me. The first one is a soft, breathy sound, like in the words think or think. Just put your tongue right between your teeth and blow. The second one is harder and actually uses your vocal cords, like in this or mother. Feel that vibration in your mouth when you say mother? I know these letter combinations are super tricky, but practicing them out loud makes all the difference in the world.
Let's move to Section 4, spelling your identity.
Imagine you're filling out some paperwork or talking to a receptionist at a clinic. They ask for your family name and you say, "My surname is Bekele." Because English spelling is, well, pretty unpredictable, they're almost always going to ask, "How do you spell it?" And this brilliantly illustrates how we clarify personal Amharic names in English. You just calmly break it down using the letter names. B-E-K-E-L-E. This simple, quick interaction happens literally millions of times a day around the world. Let's gamify this for a quick second and test your spelling intuition. Think about a few incomplete words. Can you actively guess the missing vowels before I give you the answers? Just think about the sounds. H blank T. If I want to spell hat, what goes in the middle? Yep, an A. How about P blank N to spell pen? That's going to be an E. And B blank OK for book. We need another O. Excellent. Let's keep that energy high and play spelling detective.
Think about these three words: book, school, and family. Now, if English were perfectly phonetic, this is exactly how we'd spell them based on how they sound. But spoiler alert, all three are incorrect. Can you spot the real mistakes? Book should actually be spelled B-O-O-K, school should be S-C-H-O-O-L, and family needs a sneaky little I right in the middle, F-A-M-I-L-Y. This just confirms our golden rule. English sounds don't always perfectly match their intuitive spelling. You just have to memorize certain letter combinations. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Real-World Spelling Mastery. So why does all this matter? Well, just think about the everyday scenarios where spelling is absolutely essential. You can't register for school without spelling your name. You can't check into a hotel, nail a job interview, or give someone your contact info over a quick phone call without these basic skills. Spelling isn't just some boring academic exercise. It's literally the gateway to your daily life, your career, and all your future opportunities in any English-speaking environment. Let's break down the exact formula for something you're going to do all the time, sharing an email address out loud. It can sound a bit complicated, but it's really just a simple 4-step process. Step 1, you spell your username out loud, letter by letter, like S-T-U-D.